Hey guys, Gemmy God here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Gemmy Airblown Inflatable Homer Simpson with Donut Box. I said this in my Bart Simpson Inflatable reviews, but I wanted a Homer Simpson to go along with the Bart Inflatables. I didn't want it to be just Bart, and I was hoping to find one for a decent price, and luckily, about a week or so before Christmas, I saw a listing for this exact Homer Simpson inflatable going up for less than $100, but the shipping is what put it over the line of $100, but I was still willing to pay the full amount. But I didn't have to because the listing this guy came from actually had a best offer function. So with nothing to lose, I put my best offer and I managed to get it just about a day before Christmas. It's amazing, really. I guess you could say that Christmas miracles really do come true. But yeah, there is a reason this one was priced lower than the other Homer inflatables that were listed at the time. The main reason being that Homer's head was not standing up straight, and that's because the original coating was starting to melt off of Homer's head, and that's not the only place where the coating was starting to go bad. As it turns out, the white cuff areas on Homer's neck and on his wrists of his Santa suit were also thin, as well as the donut box itself. I know that because even though there's no lights in the donut box itself, I put my hand over the fabric, and I could actually feel air coming out of the fabric itself. I didn't put my hand on the seams or anything. I put it on the actual fabric itself, like right in the middle, and I could actually feel air coming out of it. That's how thin it was. So I took some water-based polyurethane and coated it all up, and Homer's head still kind of leans to the side, but it's not as bad as it was. So I actually did notice another area of air leaking that I missed, and I may get to that eventually. But that's probably going to be next Christmas when I get this guy out on display. If I'm still living here or at another place, we'll see what happens. But anyways, here's the box. It says, The Simpsons, Homer Simpson Inflatable, Airblown Inflatable, everything included. Self-inflates in minutes, weatherproof, lights up. And despite it having the 2003 style box, this is actually a plastic base fan version, so I'm guessing they were using some leftover assets from the previous year. 8 feet tall, 2.4 meters tall. Here's the side with it on the side display. It's pretty ripped up on the side there. And then lights up and includes Airblown unit, 4 base anchor stakes, 4 tether stakes, 4 tether ropes, 1 extra fuse, and 1 extra light bulb. It's pretty wrinkled up down there, but it says 2004 Gemmy Industries Corp. And then a Proposition 65. This is item number 17095 for indoor and outdoor use. And then the setup instructions for 2004 to present day plastic base fan inflatables. Unfold stand, zip up air balloon and plug in, secure tethers and stakes. The Simpsons, trademark and copyright 2003, 20th Century Fox Film Corporation, all rights reserved. And on the top we got a picture of Homer himself. Now putting the box off to the side and focusing on the inflatable itself. Like I said, I got most of the polyurethane on this guy. I actually managed to coat pretty much the entirety of his head was thin, as well as most of the white chunks of fabric. The red fabric is still good to go. I tried rubbing some of the coating off, it wouldn't come off, so yeah, the coating's all good there. So let's go ahead and plug old homie in, shall we? Alright. Alright, let me just lean him against the wall, see if I can get him to look good. Well, there you go, guys. Yeah, Homer's head still leans, like I said. But I did coat the thing in polyurethane. I may have to put more in that one area I missed. Gonna have to have this leaning against the wall, so hang on while I get that fixed. Alright, there you go, guys. Now, like I said, Homer's head does lean when it's standing on its own. I think it leans just as much as it did when I first got it. Actually, before putting polyurethane on it, it was a little bit worse, but the difference this time around is if you position Homer just right, the head can stand on its own, but given how top-heavy it can be, of course it's bound to lean one side or the other. But it's more likely to lean in the direction you see it because of, I don't know, it's just, well, that's just the way it's designed. And like I said, there's still that one area of air leakage I need to get to sometime. Maybe I'll do that when I bring this guy out next year. But for now, what you see is what you get. And appearance-wise, the Inflatable Enthusiast already said this in his review, but I think appearance-wise, this actually does a better job at capturing the appearance of Homer. Not that the 2002 to 2003 Metal Base Fan one was doing a terrible job at it or anything like that. No, no, no. The difference with that first one is that his eyes look like they're just staring off into space. Whereas with this one, on the other hand, it looks like he's actually looking focused and looking straight ahead. So, at least they managed to get that part fixed. And they did shrink the size of the eye so they don't look super exaggeratedly large. And I know that they kind of did that with the skeleton Homer too, which I'm on the lookout for. Not the vampire Homer, the skeleton Homer. That's what I want to get. And I don't have it right now, but hopefully I'll find one for a good price. Even if I have to douse it in polyurethane, I'm still willing to do it if it means bringing a classic back for the future to see. But yeah, I guess we'll get up close and show you just exactly what has polyurethane on it. The upper part of his lip does not, but the bottom portion does. As you can see, that's all crinkly. That's got polyurethane on it. His mouth was thin. Pretty much the entirety of his head was thin. His eyes were thin. And see, the neck cuff of the Santa suit was thin. And you can see there's a few spots I miss, which is why Homer's head doesn't stand up completely. And even the buttons for the suit were actually thin and see-through to the point where you could actually see the wiring and light bulb casing inside. And the donut box itself, on all angles, except for the back, surprisingly, were thin. Because, like I said, I could put my, say I want to put my hand... God, this guy's not going to stand up. Hold on one sec. I'll have to lean him back. Alright? Now, as I was saying, what I mean when I said that the donut box was thin, try not to put your hand on the seam and put it on, like, the fabric itself, like, right here. I could feel air leaking through this portion right here, on this area right here. That's how I was able to tell that the donut box was thin. And, yeah, and I noticed that, the mitts were also kind of see-through, even though there was no air leaking through those, because I could actually see the air intake on the side, so I decided to coat those in polyurethane for good measure, and, I'm glad I did, because that actually seemed to help get this guy restored to a degree. And I also did the wrist cuffs, and the red seems to be still in good shape for now. And a little bit of Simpsons trivia for you. I know that all you diehard Simpsons fanatics out there know this already, but for those who don't, I'm going to say it anyway. Doe was actually supposed to be read as Annoyed Grunt, but Dan Castellini, the guy who voices Homer Simpson, wanted to put it in one word, so he said, Doe! And from then on, a true iconic legendary line was born. One of many from the one, the only, Homer J. Simpson. Is it any wonder why Joe P. said that Homer was the bestseller by far? And don't just take it from him or me. Ask anyone who worked on, like, Simpsons merchandise. They'll tell you the exact same thing. Homer was the best seller by far. Of course, it would be Bart or Lisa as the best sellers nowadays for their emotional scenes. But when you come down to it, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the hilarity, comedic moments from guys like Homer. But, yeah, there you go, guys. Despite being still being a bit quirky, this Homer looks like he's ready to be used again. And even if his head does still lean to the side a bit, I don't mind it one bit. As long as I could get, like, the tethers and stakes to, get him to stand up. Even with that sagging head, he still can be used. So if you're an Airblown collector and a Simpsons fan all in one, I recommend either of the Homer inflatables that were made. whether it be the Metal Base Fan one or this one. Either one is good to get. Or if you want to get both, go right ahead. But one piece of a character is good enough for me. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.